Here we go guys, round 5 of the Outdoor Championship, running my 2-wheel drive Schumacher LD2. Bit of a wet day, got silver mezzos, rears, silver cut staggers on the front. Get into practice, see how we get on. Probably change tyres after practice. But yeah, see how practice, see how we get on. Yeah boys. Here we go boys, let's see what we've got. Stand straight, up into the back corner, over the bumpy section, back round, through the S's, over the tabletop. Gonna have to slam on the brakes for there, back round, down, through the section, up and round we go. Yep, we track. Run silvers for this first couple of rounds maybe, and then see how we get on. Run the 2-wheel drive and the 4-wheel drive. 4-wheel drive's just a shakedown, still very much getting used to the car. Made a couple of changes to the shocks, drilled them out by 0.1 of a millimetre. I'll go back to pits now and tell you what setup changes I've done to the 4-wheel drive. So here we go, in the 2-wheel drive we have 3 1.5 pistons with 450 oil in the front, 2 times 2.1 pistons with 450 oil. I've gone for 500 oil, depending on the temperature. Because it's summer, I've gone with a bit of a heavy oil. So yeah, there we go.
And here we go is the races for our practice session. We'll be racing against these guys through the qualifying as well. We've got Daniel on pole, me second, Nick third, Lee fourth, Tommy fifth, Jacob sixth, Chris seventh, Matt eighth, and Tony in ninth. Raced against Tommy many times, very quick driver. I think he's running a 5.5 motor. Jacob races with his dad Matt. Matt's a bit of a missile, so keep an eye out for Matt. He's car number 8. Lee, pretty much coming up through the field. Always good to race against Lee. Pretty much a game of catch between us. We either outperform each other, but yeah, should be a good session boys. Let's jump in straight into it. So here we go, fastest lap in practice. Notice the car's not got much speed to it. One of my motor wires started to come unsoldered. I think there was a bit of a dry connection, but yeah, this is the quickest lap just before it totally gives up the ghost. So I thought I'd add it in just to show what can go wrong if you don't learn how to do your soldering properly. Yeah, you want plenty of heat, plenty of solder, and round we go. We're at 27.16, a lot of room for improvement. Do alright in the final though, so stay tuned for that.
Yeah, so that was short but sweet boys. Wire come off the motor, probably dry solder. So I managed to get it back soldered back on. Go out for qualifying round 1 next. Quite slippy track. Going to stay on silvers I think, at least for 1 round, and change over to yellows.
So here we go, here's our starting positions. We've got Daniel on pole, me second, Nick third, Lee fourth, Tommy fifth, Jacob sixth, Chris in 7th, Matt 8th, and Tony in 9th. Should be an interesting race. A lot goes on, a lot of things go wrong. What can go wrong does go wrong, but it all works out well for the final. Do pretty well in the final, so that's something to look forward to. Yeah, so yeah, let's jump straight into qualifying round 1. So here we go, fastest lap of qualifying. Get that nice corner, able to keep some speed. It's a bit do or die in that first corner if you want to go through it full pelt. Kind of like push your luck a little bit, and unfortunately my luck runs out going through that corner. So round we go, under the trees, sun's starting to come out, now running on yellows. Very much dry track now, and round we go. The fastest lap in qualifying round 1 of a 24.88. So yeah, here's where I get taken out, push me luck, and take the corner and wipe the side of the car off.
And there you go boys, that's the end of qualifying round 1, didn't go to plan.
So on to the result. Daniel won it with 12 laps and the fastest lap of 24.15. Tommy was second with 12 laps and the fastest lap of 25.51. Matt Lowry was third with 12 laps and the fastest lap of 25.61. Lee was fourth with 12 laps and the fastest lap of 24.82. Tony was 5th with 11 laps and the fastest lap of 24.90. Chris was 6th with 11 laps and the fastest lap of 25.66. Nick was 7th with 11 laps and the fastest lap of 24.35. Jacob was 8th with 10 laps and the fastest lap of 27.33. And I was 9th with 7 laps and the fastest lap of 24.88.
So on to qualifying round 2 with the 2-wheel drive. Hopefully we can improve. Crashed out in qualifying 1, broke a wishbone. There's a nail up in the top corner of the track. like a big bolt sticking out the guttering. So anyone watching Southport, they need to get some bolt cutters and cut that off. It's about there. Big bolt. Yeah, on to qualifying round 2, two-wheel drive. Hopefully we can make it till the end.
So here we go, fastest lap in qualifying round 2. Full beams through that first right-hander. Go wide over the cobblestones, able to keep your speed, send it over the tabletop. Bit deep on the landing, but you kind of like slam on the brakes. You don't want to turn as you're braking because you're going to traction roll. Round we go. Try and keep this car in front of me. Bit awkward that little jump, and round we go for a fastest lap of 23.59. Yeah, boys.
Another problem. Leading that pretty much from lap 2. Got into the lead, and just lap 11 just lost signal. Just car wouldn't respond, so dropped down.
Yeah, so turned my transmitter on and off and got reconnected to the matrix. So yeah, Daniel won it with 12 laps and a fastest lap of 22.61. Nick was second with 12 laps and a fastest lap of 23.75. Tommy was third with 12 laps and a fastest lap of 24.42. Tony was fourth with 12 laps and a fastest lap of 23.65. Lee was fifth with 12 laps and a fastest lap of 23.44. Matt Lowry was sixth with 12 laps and a fastest lap of 23.46. I was seventh with 11 laps and a fastest lap of 23.59. Jacob was 8th with 11 laps and a fastest lap of 25.15, and Chris was 9th with 11 laps and a fastest lap of 24.80. So qualifying round 3, let's do this. Into the first corner. Not a bit hesitant after having that incident in the previous round where I took the corner off. I think it was qualifying round 2. Round we go. Track's very much dry now. Grip is at a premium. Always grippy at Southport. That awkward little jump, and round we go. See where we place, and lap 7 was a 23.23.
And there we go, just like qualifying 3. One of my laps wasn't counted, so my lap down. So hopefully race control can sort onto qualifying round 4 next.
So onto the results. Nick won it with 13 laps and a fastest lap of 22.73. Daniel was second with 13 laps and a fastest lap of 23.07. Tony was third with 13 laps and a fastest lap of 23.77. Matt Lowry was fourth with 12 laps and a fastest lap of 23.25. I was fifth with 12 laps and a fastest lap of 23.23. Tommy was sixth with 12 laps and a fastest lap of 24.25. Lee was seventh with 12 laps and a fastest lap of 23.63. Chris was 8th with 12 laps and a fastest lap of 24.60, and Jacob was 9th with 11 laps and a fastest lap of 24.09. Yeah, so here's a little incident I had with the car. I got the line wrong and basically the shock popped off. Now, I don't think it was too much of a bad crash. Yeah, fair enough, they're not designed for be tumbling through the air, but in my opinion, you've only got to look at Schumacher ball joints and they pop off, and the fact that there's ball joints on the top and the bottom of the shocks, it's kind of like you've got to be so delicate with them. At this point I was kind of like, do you know what, I've kind of like had enough of these Schumachers. I don't want to, I'm not calling them bad, like, but I think because I'm quite an aggressive driver, because I'm used to bashing, I need something that's capable of kind of like taking the odd knock, not something that you just fart next to it and something falls off. But here we go, lap qualifying round 4, our fastest lap. See how we get on. So managed to get it back fixed. So we're still in last position, so I'm probably going to be pushing it a little bit, try and get some fastest laps, try and place myself well in the final. Round we go. Nice tight line so far. This little awkward jump, get a nice curve leading up to it, managed to carry some speed, and there we go for lap 5 is a 23.73.
Just goes to show, boys, isn't all over till the fat lady sings.
Yeah, so Nick won it with 13 laps and a fastest lap of 22.81. Daniel was second with 13 laps and a fastest lap of 22.97. Tommy was third with 13 laps and a fastest lap of 24.08. Matt was fourth with 12 laps and a fastest lap of 22.94. Tony was fifth with 12 laps and a fastest lap of 23.38. Chris was 6th with 12 laps and a fastest lap of 24.13. Lee was 7th with 12 laps and a fastest lap of 23.07. Jacob 8th with 12 laps and a fastest lap of 24.22. And I was 9th with 10 laps and a fastest lap of 23.73.
And here we go, guys, into the final. car number 4. Let's see if we can get a good position. Done alright in 2-wheel drive.
So here we go into the finals, the D final. We've got Matt Lowry on pole, Lee 2nd, Barry 3rd, me 4th, Chris 5th, Scott 6th, Rob in 7th, Stuart 8th, Carl in 9th, and Jacob in 10th. Matt Lowry, very quick driver. Lee has been quick all day. Barry, another guy I've raced a lot against in Berry, so it's good to race against Barry. Yep, Scott, good driver as well. So a lot of good drivers in this heat. Going to be do or die. Let's do this, boys. Let's see how we get on. So here we go. 4th on the grid. There we go. Big red arrow pointing to where you want to watch. Into the first corner. Don't want to make any mistakes. Don't want to run into anyone. Someone sends it on its roof on the starting grid. Make up a few positions up to 3rd. That's Lee in front. Chasing down Matt Lowry under the trees. I'm going to try and keep it clean. Any mistakes that are going to happen, I want them to happen in the opening laps. It looks like Lowry, Wilson, Fulton. And we go, just losing sight of the cars a little bit there. Sorry about that, there's not really anywhere else I can place the graphic. Round we go, Lee gets it a bit wrong on the jump. I overgun it, he gets the position back. Someone's flying in from the left. Under the trees. Matt's pulling away. Lee nosedives. That takes me up to 2nd. So lap 2 is a 24.88. I get it wrong, hit the cladding, sends me off. That's going to lose me a bit of time. So hopefully we can try and charge now. And we go, car overturned. Barry in front. Gets his line a bit untidy, close him down.
2 seconds ahead.
Nice line over that little bump, try and undercut him. He closes the door on me. Lap 3 is a 29.93. Try and get past Barry, just waiting for a gap. Anything can happen, and it usually does. Just want to keep him in my sights. Wait for a gap, put him under pressure. Oh, we come together. Gets away. It's a bit of a racing incident, a bit untidy from me though. Lap 4 is a 26.14.
And it looks like Matt's being caught by Lee.
Lee's managed to get past Barry.
So, your leader
and see if we can pull away.
Coming onto the straight now.
Car's handling lovely. We're currently down in 4th, but we're probably going to jump up a few positions now as we go across. Good jump up to 3rd. On we go.
Matt Lowry, think of a 5-second gap.
That's Lee in front. Lee gets it wrong, ends up on his roof. That might take me up to 2nd, maybe. I have to wait till we cross the line. Yep, up to 2nd. Lap 6 is a 24.02. Lap 5 was my fastest lap of the race, a 23.05 over the tabletop. Get a bit nearly planted nose first, but we managed to land it on its wheels.
The orange car that's coming up behind you is the leader.
I think these are back markers I'm coming up to now. Hopefully they don't make it too hard for me to get through. Lap 7 is the 23.84.
Matt has a near 7-second lead to Paul Fulton.
Yeah, so Matt Lowry's 7 seconds in front. Very quick driver, like I say. This is Jacob in front with the green car. And we go. Open her up. Oh, close. Lap 8 is a 24.20.
Matt Lowry looks like he's going to lead this from toe to toe.
Oh, nearly. Lucky there. There we go. Try and get past Jacob in front. He's not really holding me up though. It looks like he's on a bit of a charge. We're still in 2nd. That's Lee. Closing me down from behind. Jacob gets it wrong. Opens the door for me to get through. Do or die on the tabletop. Bit wide on that corner.
The running order at 4 minutes.
Gotta try and keep it clean. Just a few more laps to go. Times like this, anything can go wrong when the nerves start getting to you. Lee's really closing me down now. Oh, and there we go. Oh, tabletop. Throwaway second place. Gonna have to try and charge now, or wait till Lee to make a mistake. Yeah, so we're looking at third place so far. If it finishes like this, lap 11's at 27.89. Lucky there. Taking a few risky moves. Oh, luckily we land on our wheels. Oh, and Lee gets it wrong. Lands on his roof. Looks like he's thrown it away. And there we go, boys. Not all over till the fat lady sings. Lap 12's at 40, 24, 46. Wow, a tough race. Yeah, but I'm happy with that result. After all the problems we had all day, I pretty much thought I was going to end up in the bottom final. So it's nice to get a good starting position. Middle of the pack, able to pick off some positions. Couple of stupid mistakes that I wish never happened. But just goes to show, don't give up till you're in the very last corner. So on to the result. Matt Lowry won it with 13 laps and a fastest lap of 23.65. I was second with 12 laps and a fastest lap of 23.05. Lee was third with 12 laps and a fastest lap of 23.82. Scott was fourth with 12 laps and a fastest lap of 24.23. Barry was fifth with 12 laps and a fastest lap of 23.87. Stuart was sixth with 12 laps and a fastest lap of 24.04. Chris was 7th with 12 laps and a fastest lap of 24.19. Jacob was 8th with 11 laps and a fastest lap of 23.80. Carl was 9th with 11 laps and a fastest lap of 25.69. And Rob was 10th with 11 laps and a fastest lap of 24.90. As always, guys, thanks very much for tuning in, and I shall see you in the next one. Oh yeah.